So here we go. This game contains themes of depictions of violence, death, body horror, chronic illness, grief, and dysfunctional relationships. Let's start. What the fuck? I don't want any voice in here. Every night, I find myself alone in the studios, curtains drawn tight, my neat row of paint, palette, and brushes in the same place on the drawer by the easel. The canvas upon it sits, as always, unfinished. Marie's half-painted face, frozen in a silent song. The sun, how pretty. It is laid out. It is all it is when I awaken here. Marie is nowhere to be found. She must still be at the theater, even when the curtains falls and the stage light dims. The night is forever young to its star soprano. I would always wonder outside of her dressing room, Rosen's hand, scores of other bright eyes, admirers spilling through the halls. Though she's alone was mine. I was hers. Oh. It's cold, bitterly cold tonight, but I still draw the curtains and open the window wide. There's a stench in the room, deep, damp, sickly, sweet. I can't ever seem to get rid of. She a corpse, you killed her, what the fuck, dude? Besides that, the fumes, the linseed oil makes my head spin. Every night, I measure out my paints, arranging the smallest dab of color on my palette, from the lightest to the darkest, titanium white and cadmium yellow, to corpse brown and lamp black. I wet my brush with oil and gently start mixing pigments. It feels just a bit like magic, watching them swirl and mix, forming new colors from old. Okay, let's stop. I paint her face. I mix the tone as warm as her cheeks. I envision Marie's sweet face in my mind's eye. Her lips like roses, and the graceful turn of her nose, the sweet eyes that glitter like stars under candlelight. It is no use. I can't focus. Her features are as blurred as in my mind as the mess of an oil pigment smears across my canvas. I sigh and scrape it off with a palette knife. I mix deep blend of black and red for the backgrounds instead. I apply my paint with a generous dab of oil, but it seems I didn't have to. The canvas is still wet from last night and the night before. I must have painted and repainted the same background countless of times to say it's difficult to paint by the slant light. My moose nowhere in sight is an understatement, of course, but lately these nightly hours are only time I find myself able to lift my brush. I stop every few strokes. Spirits, it hurts. I joked about the pain that forced me away from the tailor shop. Meant I could finally return to my painting, very least. I was never good at humor. Marie sensed my worries, consoled me sweetly, and in her voice that could charm stone to life. "Oh, Stan, don't worry. I have rows lined up for months. Go ahead and paint. We can still live comfortably." It hurt. A small part of it did. Beyond physical, beyond the ailment, to seek her permission. Dude, are you one of those guys? Like, oh, I can't, I don't need your permission. No. You shouldn't work to be unable to care for my darling the way I had when we were young, brimming with talent, but crushingly unknown. Well, she had been, and I was, and still am, nothing. I'm guessing he murdered her because he couldn't handle it. He's like, "No, you gotta stay here, stay." But perhaps finally it would now be my turn, but perhaps finally it would now be my turn to bring my visions to the world. If only it didn't hurt so damn much. Time passes and I still don't manage more than a few strokes. A small patch of dark over an already wet canvas. Or perhaps time had hasn't passed at all. The broken clock on the wall would suggest as much. Perhaps the seconds had lain still, the world outside unchanging, and I the only one that moves. Have I moved? Have I moved? It's repeating the same brush strokes like a clockwork doll movement. I shiver and sigh. Perhaps sleep would be a better and easier. Perhaps the next night will meet more success. I stand setting aside my paint and palette. I slowly to move to shut the windows. I stop. There out in the front garden, barely lit by a lamp, stands a figure that can only be Marie. Oh no, he's gonna get jealous and be like, "What the fuck?" She bids goodbye to another figure, tall and broad-shouldered, then she laughs. A beautiful laugh, a heartfelt laugh, and embraces him before he makes his reluctant exit on the carriage stopped by the gate. For a moment, I don't know what to think. A friend, a co-star, perhaps an admirable tenure she mentioned every now and then. I didn't see his face, but Maria's social circle had always eclipsed my own. Must be. Why wouldn't he come to our home? Why would she laugh that way? In the garden, in the midst of walking to the front door, humming to herself, Marie suddenly looks up. For a moment, her eyes go wide. She blinks as if she's shaking herself from a daze. I instinctively step back from the windows. Perhaps it's guilt that makes me do so. Marie is finally home. And oh, I missed her so. How could the first thing I think upon seeing my darling be the worst thoughts in my mind could conjure? For the first time in many, many nights, I feel just well enough to leave the studio. I'll prep Marie a pot of her favorite chamomile tea. I'll listen as she tells me the theater, the thousand small anecdotes she never runs out of. And maybe, just maybe, ask her again to sit for a portrait for me. Like she used to. The house felt larger than it used to. Perhaps I was shut in the studio so too long. Still, how could I quickly become a stranger to my own home? The memories are fuzzy, the years blur together like a wash of the oil color. My mother and I, carrying our sparse luggage, stepping inside for the first time. My stepfather laughing, his elbow on the breakfast table, chattering over something he had read in the paper. Then silent halls and empty rooms. Then I myself welcomed my new bride to the solitary halls, hanging our newly taken portrait above the mantel. The walls are barren now. Oh, are you a ghost? The walls filled in the dark, leaving sticky trails of the blank paint behind, tracing the place where I used to hang. Okay. The paintings I framed, the seaside landscape I painted on our honeymoon, the watercolor sketch of Marie that couldn't help to capture the sheen of her hair, the still life of candles and flowers that had wilted because I took so long to finish. Even the painting of the rose in the vase, the first gift I had ever given her. I want to bring you some flowers, but I was afraid they would wilt before I saw you next. You painted them? You painted them? Oh, they're beautiful, Sam. The naked walls stare blankly at me. Confused but nowhere else to go, I continue through the house. As I walk, I pass by the furniture my stepfather left me, the shelf, the shelf, and the table that always seemed so large and grand as a boy, but now missing or mantled in thick white linen. They remind me of the corpses on the hospital table, lying dead still, covered in sheets. Marie. I try to call out, but the phlegm blocks my throat. I cough, long and drawn and wet, then more attempts to voice her name. Marie. It still slicks off my tongue like a serpent uncoiling. I had always loved her name, so tender and sweet, fresh of the harsh syllables, Marie. It was a name like the impressionist fleur, painted in soft strokes with fine oil brush. The greatest joy in the world to join my name to hers. Silence filled the halls, a long drawn-out silence, a held breath. Finally, my darling answers. Sam? Is this a dream? Yeah, we're dead. I cough again, another long wet trail dripping from my lips. Is it a good dream, darling? I don't know. It feels like a nightmare. An awful, wretched nightmare. I limp towards her, the sound of her voice, so musical, so lovely, even at the brink of tears. Don't cry, darling. I wanted to say this, but thick, syrupy liquid fills my throat. No matter what troubles you, I am here. She stands at the edge of the staircase, shaking, a candlestick in hand. The steps are sticky, wet. I inch carefully, practically at crawl, not to slip. My darling lifts the candle as I approach. In the dark of the house, its flickering flame almost blinds me. Ah! I don't see the expression on her face as she screams. We're back from the dead. Marie, where are you, my darling? Every word feels like a dagger puncturing my throat. I limp down each hall, leaving a trail of steps that feel damp, heavy, slick, and wet. I try the door to our bedroom. No, Marie's room. I had started sleeping in the spare one when my cough fits would wake her in the night. It was cold, so cold, alone, but my darling needed her rest. The knob is slick and hard to twist, my hand slipping on the press. Finally, I managed to push the door open. It's completely dark. When I peer inside, I know it's empty. No warmth, no flesh, no sound of sweet breath within. I continue down the hall. I trudge, my steps heavy and wet, trying not to slip over the thick, slick surface. Marie, what's wrong, darling? Please come out. I don't understand. He doesn't know he's dead. The sad. The dining room is empty, truly empty. The shelves where the china and silverware once neatly stacked now gaped hollow. The walnut table is covered in a thick white sheet. The matching set of chairs removed. I rest against the blanketed table. My hands leave a wretched smear against the sheet. It must be more paint, though it's hard to make out in the dark. I needed spectacles for quite some time, but Marie had never liked the bookish type. I continue on through the familiar yet unfamiliar house, my steps strained and slow, my breath short, sticky and wet. Marie, where are you? Oh, Marie, it hurts. Why won't you come to me? I hear the front door slam shut. It must be freezing cold out. Has she gone to the garden? I tread to the sound with new urgency and caring of the sticky, wet floors, forgetting for just about a moment the pain that snaps and burns through my flesh. I reach for the oily, damp knob. Don't, Sam, please. Are we a monster? Her voice rings from behind the door. I don't understand, darling. Have I done something to upset you? Her sobs echo loudly. I never thought an ugly sound could come from my darling's lips, but her words, I love you, Sam. I always will, but I can't bear to see you like this. Please, I beg you, return where you came. You can't be here. I've moved on now. So we're basically dead. What? Return where? Dearest, you aren't making any sense. Moved on? I am your husband, Marie. What on earth is there to move on from? Please remember, Sam, you were ill. You were ill for a long, long time, and you never recovered. I know I'm unwell, Marie, but you said we would still. Are you leaving me? Because I can't care for you anymore? Is that it? You left me. You're dead, Sam. I knew it. You've been dead for more than a year. If this is a joke, darling, it's a cruel one. Do you want me dead? Is that it? Am I better off dead to you? My darling did nothing but sob behind the door. How quickly I regret my words. Oh, if only I could see her face, look into her eyes, reassure her, and see that she loves me still. I twist the knob with my slick, oily hands. No, don't come out, please. On the other end, with a sharp gasp, my darling grasps the knob closed, pushing the weight of her small frame against the weather wood. Don't come out! Oh shit. Let's force the door open. No, not until you tell me what's going on. You're dead. She said it. She said you're dead. Are you leaving me, darling? After everything, I need you. I need you. My darling uttered a sharp cry as the unhinged ground from against the frame, loosening her grip as she stumbles back into the cobblestone path. I instantly forgot her sharp words as I limped towards her side. Marie, are you all right? I'm so sorry. Stop it, Sam. I'll keep you alive. Every time I sing, I'll sing for you. I'll keep you in my song, in my art. Oh, but it hurts. Her shrill voice grated against the ooze spilling forth from my ears. It hurts. It hurts. My head rings. My chest is a hollow cavity, slippery and wet. I'm flowing with hot, sticky fluid. I cough, and I spew more syrupy, warm liquid from my lips. Your art is always about you. Your fame, your voice, your needs, your wants, your desires. You were a work of art, of course, but did you ever think about me? Did you ever think poor Sam dying alone in a cold white room? Poor Sam, who couldn't even hold a brush in his hand at the end. Poor Sam left to rot into nothing. A year was all it took for you to forget about me. I'm shaking her, leaving smears of dark, muddy paint over her pale shoulders. The next moment, she breaks from me, running blindly into the street. Oh no, she's gonna die. And she can be hit. The carriage doesn't stop for her. Of course it doesn't. My dearest is a wisp of dark curls, the black ground billowing in the night like a shade. She should be light as a breath, soft as mist. Oh no, she got hit. That was blood. But the song that comes is a scream of her breaking bones, her ripping flesh, and the breath that leaves her lungs. But every sound my darling makes is beautiful. Damn. I scoop her mass of flesh, deep crimson hair into my arms. Her blood pools around me, syrup, dark and colored so deep, no artist's pigments could hope to capture the purest scarlet or vermilion red. a dull stain in comparison. It is not Sam that I see staring back into the deep pool of our blood. Oh shit. My darling is a lovely creature, even broken. I gently carry her up the steps, and one slick, damp, crooked step at a time, dead in her mass of dreaded bones and viscera and flesh. On the velvet seat in my studio, the fabric is soaked so deep, so very deep. It is dark, as it is every night. I leave the lamp unlit, the window shut tight. How strange that scent of linseed oil ever bothered me. After all, I no longer breathe. My darling, sit still, ever so still, not breathing a breath escaping her broken flesh. What a lovely model. Oh, what a wonderful thing. All the more beautiful now that it surely hurts to sing. Oh, it is agony to hold a brush. It always was, always does, but I can bear it. After all, who can truly create without pain? Oh, I say it. Ending one use. Oh no. The back. Yes. Let her go. I let go of the door, my hand slicking off its oily surface. Forgive me, Marie. I can see that you don't want to speak to me right now. But whenever you do, whatever this is about, I'll be waiting in the studio. I'll leave the door, I'll leave my darling alone, sobbing in the garden. It's dark, so very dark, but dawn will soon paint that dim black sky. I retrace my slick, wet footsteps through the hall, up the staircase, one trudgingly damp step at a time. Spirits, it hurts. I feel no breath in my lungs. My chest could be a hollow cavity, slippery and wet, spilling with hot, sickly fluids. Oh, it hurts. Oh, it hurts. I stagger into a tall, sheet-covered object, the linen sliding off with the grasp of my clumsy, slick fingers. It's Maria's floor-length mirror. Oh, shall we go see some? No. Oh, no, no. No, 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 no. Oh, shit. Bree broke the mirror. Curses for so many days. I'm in the studio, a dark, dim studio, as empty as it is every night. The curtains are shut. The lamps are unlit. My palette is a mess of murky colors, rust red, corpse brown, a musky, sickly, sweet, rotting stench fills the room. I don't know why the smell of linseed oil ever bothered me. After all, I no longer breathe. The handle of the door turns behind me. Slowly it creeps open. A figure steps inside. It's me. He limps more than he steps in crooked motion against the floor, dragging his body along like a wet, wide brush as swatches of red pool at his feet. I watched him pull himself before the canvas. Samuel. He speaks in my mother's voice, a tone that could swell with warmth or adoration, command or dependency, pride or disappointment in a moment's notice. Please give up your suffering. Give up this. Come back to earth with me. Wait. My hands are too slick to hold the brush. I stab it into my flesh and fix it between my bones, then dip the bristle into his blood. Sammy. He speaks in my stepfather's voice, but without laughter or joy. The same cadence. I imagine him taking his last breath, crimson staining his uniform, the dog tags pulled around his neck. Don't suffer anymore, Sam. You are nothing already. What the fuck is analgesia? Yes. Forget your pain. Return to the void with us. My brush is dying. I plunged it into his chest, wet it with his oily breath. I can agony. Sam. He speaks in my voice. Hoarse, raspy, and tired. So very tired. This won't make you worthy of love. Not the world's, not Marie's, not your friends, nor peers or critics. Come back to our grave, end our suffering. You know, I don't do this for love. I clean my brush with the paint thinner, knocking over the jar as it spills across the drawer and onto the wet, soaking floor. I dry the bristles on my worn, rotting shirt, then soak it in the thick, white mucus of his tears. My words are only partially true, just as his words are not fully wrong. Neither my rotting corpse nor the memory of what once was Sam will gain a thing from this toil. I paint the hours away, perhaps takes no time at all. The clock on the wall never turns its hands, suggesting that the world lies still. The second never passes, and I am the only thing that moves within it. It hurts. It hurts. Heavy syrup tears flood my vision, fill my throat, my chest, choking me. every moment, and of my hand sleeve cracked, and what's left of my brittle bones. He stares at me all the while, silent, still like a mirror. If I loved him, I would stop. I would crawl to my grave like he wishes, but I love this more than I love myself. I birthed him within me. As I create, so too I am born. He and I are beautiful. Oh, that's nice. And into self-portrait. Oh, that's nice. I wonder if there's any other endings. But for now, I think I'm gonna call it there. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Join my Discord, !Discord, and Twitch chat. And join the Discord. Thank you guys for watching.